Hey everybody, welcome back to Everyman Prepping. I'm Seth, and today we're going to talk about more attacks, just as the thumbnail said. Now these aren't just attacks in Ukraine or the Red Sea, which we are going to hit on a couple of those because they're very important to keep track of and see what's going on as we spiral down into World War III. But also we're going to talk about some specific attacks on people in the United States, more as locations, and it's just not on people. We're going to talk about the New York subway situation, and then we're going to talk about attacks on our food system. And we're going to do that by looking at the Texas wildfire and the cattle situation and where that's at. So first we're going to talk about, though, situational awareness. And let's get into that. So when you're out and about, and this applies for anybody, like I said, we're going to talk about the New York subway, but it's just not there. It's, going to buy groceries, out to get gas at school or a park, and not just in the United States, it's everywhere in the world. You need to have situational awareness. And basically, what that is awareness of your surroundings. Who's there? What are they? Is there people that could be a problem? Is there some violence starting? Is there something that looks off? What is your gut telling you? It's basically be aware of your surroundings. And you do that by not being on your phone. Your head in your phone looking at stuff. You don't have two iPods in and listening to music the whole time. Even while I see so many people that are out working out or they're going for the run and they got their earphones in and they're running. They can't hear anything. They can't hear someone approach them from behind or a vehicle. Super unsafe. Don't do it. But let's say you're in a situation like the picture shows. You're in a subway. You're looking around. Who's around me? Who's close? You're keeping an eye on your family. Rest of that. You're not being paranoid. You're not, looking around all frantic. You're just taking it in, taking everybody in, kind of analyzing where are the exits, where can I get out, who's near me, is everybody safe? You need to be aware of that. Same at the gas station, same at the grocery store. Where are you parking? Are you parking next to, if you're in a parking garage and, and it's late at night, are you by yourself? Maybe you should always go with two people. The Army teaches the buddy system. Very good to do in the civilian world. But, do you have a buddy to help protect you? Are you parking next to a strange vehicle, like a big box truck or a van, basically the old kidnapping vans? If you don't park next to those, park away from them, park under lights, all that stuff. But we need to amp up our situational awareness because attacks are ramping up. And that leads to the story about New York. We have here, the Governor Hochul announces a 5-point plan to protect New Yorkers on the subway. A lot of subway violence. It's exploding. Crazy things happening in the New York subway. Very much different than a lot of other subway systems around the world. Don't know why we can't have a nice system here in the United States, but for some reason we can't. But to combat this, we're sending in the military. So there's going to be 1,000 New York State police and National Guard. Now it's about 750 guard, 250 police. They're going to go into the subway system and they're going to start random bag checks. Kind of sounds like a Fourth Amendment violation to me. Back when Giuliani I think was there, he started the frisk and search and frisk or whatever that was, but that was ruled unconstitutional. So I'm not sure how they're going to implement this, but they're going to try it at least. So if you're in the New York system, you're down there, be ready to have your bags checked without notice. Can you say it's against your Fourth Amendment and fight it? You can try, see what happens. It's your right, of course, but you're going to see a lot more military presence, National Guard down there. As it says here, they're adding new cameras, so they're militarizing, they're doing the state surveillance of the subway system. We'll see if it has any impact, but it's more, I want to point out that we're, kind of edging, slowly walking us into more military around. Is it really for safety? Is there something else they should do instead of seeing National Guard in? I don't know, but you're going to start normalizing the military troops around. This is starting in the New York transit system. Hopefully it helps with safety, but I think I don't have a picture of the National Guard guys. There's a few in there. There's a guy standing right here, but I think it's also, to help with safety, but an attempt to normalize the scenes of military people in a civilian setting. So we'll see, but that's what's going on in New York. Now, about the food. Here's a picture of some cattle that unfortunately passed away in the fires. We had 1 million acres burned or so, more than that. Thousands of cows were, killed, and other animals, of course, but a lot of cattle impact. So, from what you're reading, what I'm reading at least, there's 88, 90% of the cattle in Texas graze in the Panhandle that was burned down. So they haven't said the exact cause of it yet. So arson, lightning, whatever. But there's some conspiracy out there. Let you put in the comments below what you think started and what happened. But it was a big attack on the beef industry. People are saying, oh, beef prices are going to go up, shortages, that things. We'll have to see. There is before I get to that, there is a Texas A&M professor, though. He's coming out and saying that this should not impact the beef cattle market or the consumers, according to Texas A&M Ag Life Extension Service expert. So, he's coming out of the university system. We know the university system, it has its issues with which agendas they're pushing at the time. I think it's going to have an impact. But I just want to show you that there's people coming out saying, "Oh, there's going to be no impact. Don't worry about those cows dying. Don't worry about the feeding." And that leads what I want to show you here is you got. Let's put it on. You got people in Texas trying to help out. They're coming together. This isn't the government helping these farmers out to feed their cattle and do stuff. No, these are farmers, other farmers in Texas, shipping hay. Bringing as much as they can to help out those remaining cows because there's nothing to graze on anymore. So once again, it's the American public, fellow ranchers, helping each other out, and we're going to need more of this, especially in the future, because our government's not coming to save us. So let's go from there and transition into one last thing here. Forgot about this. Thomas Massey, he's a House representative from Kentucky. You can see here. And remember that the new spending bill that came out, and I talked about how they're getting rid of the gas reserves, the 1 million barrels of gasoline, I believe it was, in New Jersey or in the Northeast up there. They're getting rid of that reserve because they deem it we don't need strategic reserves of gasoline. Well, in that same bill, the same omnibus bill, he says here that lobbyists got $15 million to implement electronic tracking of all cattle in the U.S. All cattle, not just Texas cattle or whatever, all cattle in the U.S. He says no law authorizes this. He says it will be used by the green agenda to limit beef production and by the corporate meat oligopoly to dominate small ranchers. Might be true, but they want to track all cows. We just had the Texas Panhandle burned down, taking out a lot of cows out, a lot of feeding, and now in this new bill, they want to, track all the cows. Why are we tracking cows? We got to start thinking about that. Write in the comments below why you think we're tracking cows. Why are you doing that? Feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, share the video, all that great stuff. I'd really appreciate it. So the new omnibus bill, getting rid of gasoline, and we're tracking cows now. So I don't think that's going to lead to anything beneficial for the common American. Moving on, though, let's go to a tax that we talked about, and we're going to start with the Red Sea. So the cargo carrier ship, this is what it looked like before it was hit. I believe this is the actual photo of it, so don't quote me on that, but that's what I'm going with here. So we have, there's also a conflict between who owns this ship and who doesn't. So according to Ocean Defender here, the information is usually accurate from them, but sometimes it's off. They say it's a Barbados-flagged, U.S.-owned cargo ship called the True Confidence. It was hit by a Houthi anti-ship ballistic missile, a bigger one than normal. The Houthis are getting better at this, and the ship is sinking. And this time there were casualties. This is the first time there were casualties. There was 2 deaths and 6 injured. They had to abandon the ship. It is sinking. It'll be the second ship sunk. So the Houthis are getting better at this, and it doesn't seem like the U.S. coalition is getting better at stopping them. So it looks like one side is winning and one side is not winning so much. Now, as we look at this article from Zero Hedge, we see that, they think it's a Liberian-owned vessel, as it says right here, 2 killed, 6 injured. The MV True Confidence, a Liberian-owned vessel. So was it U.S.-owned, Liberian-owned, Barbados-flagged or not? Really doesn't matter. It's just that the Houthis are getting better at shooting these down. This is the second one they've sunk. They said they're going to continue until there's a ceasefire, further impacting supply, shipping, costs. I don't know about you, but my gas prices in my local area have shot up about 40 cents in the last week. I don't know if yours has as well, but attacks like this are only going to spike gasoline more. And what happens when gasoline goes up? Inflation goes up. So you're going to see prices all around go up because everything takes fuel or gas to either make, transport, all that stuff. So look for more inflation coming. I know Jerome Powell's talking right now, and he's talking about a couple of cuts maybe. But if inflation goes up, they're not cutting anything. But we shall see what happens. It's going to be interesting coming up here in the next few months. Moving on from this, we have this. We have what Ukraine is calling an assassination attempt on Zelensky. They're saying it's the 6th one. They said there was an attack when he was in Odesa. He was with the Greek prime minister. And they said that, Russian forces allegedly launched missiles at Zelensky's convoy, reportedly missing their target by 150 meters. Now, this report here says it was before they met. We're going to go to another one where it says it was why he was meeting them. So, fog of war, I don't know, but a lot of stories getting made up. Were there missiles going off in Odessa? Probably. Was he the target? I don't know. Why would Russia target Zelensky? Especially if he's with the Greek prime minister. You're gonna go out and kill the Greek prime minister? That's going to start World War III right there if you kill the Greek prime minister. Killing Zelensky, okay, you're at war with them. War things happen, but Greece has no part in it really, and you're going to attack with him. That's not a smart move. I don't see that. I think Ukraine's probably taking this opportunity to kind of make it look like this is what's happening to get more support from NATO. But anyway, we have some interesting stuff to report about what the Greek prime minister said about this, which is telling about politicians and war. We're going to get to that. So this says here, President Vladimir Zelensky made a visit Wednesday to the Black Sea hub. He went to Odessa. And a bit of a risky move. The Ukrainian leader also brought along Greek Prime Minister Kyriakis Mitsotakis. I'm killing that name. We're just going to call him the Greek Prime Minister. For the official visit. It said Russia reportedly sent missiles or drones against the city at the very moment of their visit. Zelensky and the Greek Prime Minister said the explosions rang out while they toured Odessa. And this is supposed to be a picture of them touring together. But there's no protection, no military protection around them. They're going through Odessa when the bombs are going off. I don't know. And why? I challenge if this really exactly what happened, because you're not going to go out there and do this, especially for the Greek Prime Minister. Why are you going to risk that? Anyway, this is a quote from the Greek Prime Minister. It is a very intense experience. It's really different to read about the war in newspapers and to hear it with your own ears and see it with your own eyes. Yeah, no kidding. War is actually real. People die. It's horrible. Things get destroyed. Kids, everything. So for the Greek Prime Minister to say, well, I've been reading about this war, but man, to really see it and hear it, that's something different. Well, yeah, maybe all politicians, all world leaders need to go visit the war, the battlefront, the front lines, and see what's really going on. Maybe, this stuff would stop. But, so he's like, wow, this is really bad, basically. Yeah, no kidding. So at least woke him up. Maybe we'll see. Maybe all politicians, like I said, all the senators and the House reps and all those people warmongering. Maybe we need to send Lindsey Graham and all his friends over the front lines so we can actually see what's going on, in an actual, war instead of just watching it on TV. Let's see. Lastly, it says the blast caused by a ballistic missile took place a few hundred meters from the leader's motorcade. A Greek official who was not authorized to speak publicly confirmed this to Politico. So, that's what I have for you today. Attacks are ramping up everywhere. They're ongoing. We didn't talk about anything else directly. It's going on with Lebanon and Israel. Those are still going on. Last night, Hezbollah sent a giant rocket attack into Israel. They've been hitting electrical places, electrical power plants in Haifa. They've been hitting the airport near there. That's ramping up too. Didn't even put this in there. I know we've gone on here a little while, and everybody has their busy day. I just wanted to hit on what I think were some important things today. And to review, keep that situational awareness up. Whether you got, like I said, the store, the gas station with your kids, the park. That's going to be most important. If your gut's telling you something's not right, leave the area. Better safe than sorry, right? So keep up your situational awareness. Write in the comments below anything you have questions on, anything about the video, anything you want to talk about your area, how are gas prices in your area. Are you from Texas and that area with the fires? Any of that stuff would be great. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, keep your ear to the ground and head on a swivel.